So the Christmas came early this year. I was able to make myself a present as well. So what I'm working on today is actually going to be, I think it's pretty cool and unique. This is my first time experience with the carbon ceramic discs. This will be going on my personal X5M, and I got a set of calipers, which is stock caliper. Just painted the BMW carbon ceramic color, which is matte gold. It flips and flops. It actually looks like anodized color. It's going to be a little darker inside the wheel. You know, fairly easy. We're also going to be doing a stud conversion to I got the 70-75 billet brackets that are anodized. I had to trim those a little bit and adjust them. I think 1.5 millimeter. That there bolts. What else we got? We got discs. Discs are the replica of the F10 discs. These are 410 millimeter rotors, which is 15 millimeters larger than the factory discs, and they are 10 millimeter larger than BMW M5 steel rotors. Yes, I just want to briefly let you know what I got going on in the car at the moment. So, pardon the rust. It's just surface rust. I had it, rinsed off a little bit. Car been through a few storms just recently. So this is the F10 M5 disc, which is 400 millimeter over the 395 millimeter factory disc, and this is actually about 7 pounds lighter than the stock disc. This is the stock caliper, and the idea of this disc, I do consider this an upgrade because they're substantially lighter than the stock. They are pretty ridiculous. For this upgrade, all you need is a set of brackets and M5 disc, M5 pads, and this will fit on your X5M or any F15 E70 for that matter. I have a 3 millimeter spacer in the front just to help with the stance a little bit. I have the stop tech brake lines in the front, and overall, I mean, that's pretty much it. I have EBC red stuff pads. I think it's my favorite pad that I use on most of my cars where I can. So today we're gonna remove this. I'm gonna swap over to the carbon ceramics. We're gonna keep the factory dust shield because it's still substantially larger. So the new disc is gonna be 10 millimeter larger than what I got right now, and we're gonna see the weight comparison. To mention a couple things about the carbon ceramic discs, it is not okay. So there is pros and cons to this setup as well. The pros that I see, they are substantially lighter. They do not wear out. They do oxidize some, but they do not wear out. You're supposed to measure those, weigh those, I guess every so often, and unless you track, they're not gonna wear out. They do not dust. I would say it's probably the dust difference is about 10% compared to factory stock discs. I mentioned the weight before, and the weight it's literally I'm gonna bring the scale and we're gonna weigh those against the M5 rotors, the steel rotors, as well as against the stock discs. Also carbon ceramic, I mean, they look cool. I think they do not rust. I mean, all in all, they should not create any noise. There are issues reported for brake squeak, but I do not think they typically they would not squeak. Okay, now on the cons of these carbon ceramic setups, that pretty much goes to every car that uses these M3s, M5s, Porsches and whatnot. The price, these are substantially more expensive than the stock discs. They are fairly brittle, so the idea why we're going with a stud conversion is because we're going to be to take the wheel off, you got to slide it off the studs. I would want to slide the wheel away without the chance of dropping it on the on top of the disc. If you crack this or chip this, you pretty much got to junk it. So also something to keep in mind is they do react with the harsh wheel cleaners. So if you have a wheel cleaner, you might want to use like a pH neutral wheel cleaner that's not acid, because it will ruin this over time, over multiple applications. Also, what I heard is during the winter time, once you wash the car, you got to drive it a little bit just to get all the water out, because water can get inside the crevices. That's what I heard, and it can expand and it can then damage and chip some chunks of the material. So this is one of a few things. The cons, again, you know, price. They are brittle to an extent, and also they are you know, they do react with wheel cleaners, as well as the that is so cool. I mean, these things are super light. As well as they do in the wintertime when it's cold, you gotta drive the car or blow this off, make sure the water does not expand inside. So I was gonna mention, I have my wheels ceramic coated, the insides of the wheels and the outside as well. I was gonna mention this once a year black. In my experience, this, I'm not sponsored or anything, but this is one of the best things for your tires. It keeps the tires black. It's all you got to do every car wash, just pretty much wipe this off. The key thing is just to you know, prep the tire correctly, and it's gonna literally last for a few months. So I apply this every month or so, every car wash pretty much. It doesn't take long, and it keeps the tires matte black, and the tires do look like new. I know I do need tires, and again, I have the wheels being ceramic coated on the inside. The idea is the new carbon ceramic brakes, they're not gonna dust much, so the wheel's gonna look nice and clean for a while now, hopefully. So what we're gonna do now is gonna be fairly straightforward and simple. We're gonna remove the caliper. It's gonna be two Allen bolts. I don't remember the size on the Allens. I'll figure it out. I'll mention it later in the video. Gonna get this hanging by this hook out the way, and we will remove the spacer. I think it probably caked on. We'll remove the spacer. It's gonna be one or two retaining bolts back there, also Allen bolts. We're gonna remove this. We're gonna remove the brake rotor, compare the size as well as the friction area as well as the weight, and we will clean up the hub, and we will swap out the calipers with the you know, the brake line over, and we will throw in the new carbon ceramic disc. So I will get to it. I'll mention the sizes and the steps and the torque values as I go. So I definitely got carried away cleaning things up. I got the caliper off, which was fairly easy to do. This is one of my F10 adapter brackets, which we're gonna take off in just a minute. I will clean this hub up and get all the rust. The main thing is the rust right there on the edge. We're gonna clean everything up for the brake rotor to fit perfectly clean and flush. I got the dust shield cleaned up. This is the caliper hanging out the way on the hook of the tie rod. So yeah, so this is the old disc. I'm gonna bring the scale. I'm gonna compare the weight, but this is where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna remove this bracket, clean the hub up with the wire brush, and I'll post a couple pictures as I go. So I got the brake disc off. This is the disc that's the R directional. So this is the right side disc, passenger side. So it's gonna go on to the right side. What I'm looking at is obviously the pad sweep area, significantly larger than the M5 steel disc. Overall, I mean, this thing is just, you can lift it up. It's not a big deal, very easily. I'm gonna attach weight pictures of each disc. This thing, I mean, I ain't that weak, but I mean, it ain't, yeah, this thing is heavy. So my guess would be probably ballpark of maybe I don't know, maybe 15-pound difference would be my guess. But let me let me get this on the scale, and I'm gonna keep on going. I'll be back with you. I'll post I'll attach some pictures. Okay, so what I got here is I got the bracket on. I will install studs now, which is going to be just some red Loctite in those holes and get them semi-tight. Then I will throw the brake rotor on and get the fastening screws in. So yes, at this point I'm ready for the studs and the disc. It's important to check the run out if there is any with the carbon disc, which is, you can see in a full turn there is nothing. So it is straight as can be, and it is ready. I am ready to install the brake caliper. Okay, so I got the caliper installed. This is just beautiful. I mean, the caliper, the disc itself is just massive. So far I'm pretty happy with the fit and finish, and there is no run out on the disc. I think I'm good to go at this point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretty much have stop tech lines. I'm gonna disconnect the brake line here and disconnect it at the caliper, and then right quick just hook it up to the new caliper right here with this plug. I need to undo the plug right there and just connect the new caliper to this brake line, and I am basically done. I am ready to bleed it. But I love this setup. I mean, it is, yes, it's the size matters right there. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. So the disc is on, the spacer is on. I got the brake line connected, so we're gonna keep an eye, because I know most of the time when I do the install I don't tighten this enough, so they would leak a little bit. It's very easy to tighten. Just gonna keep an eye on it. So at this point I'm gonna test fit the wheel, make sure everything fits good, and I'm gonna bleed the brakes. But this side is done also. I think it looks beautiful. I'm gonna slap the wheel on and take a couple pictures, but this is it for this side. So I'm wrapping this job up now. I test fitted the wheel. There's plenty of room. I believe this is gonna work with the spare tire. I'm gonna test fit in just a minute. But all in all, I think it should work as is. And here it is. I mean, the setup is just beautiful. Love it. I will report back how the car feels. Like I said, on this side, all I got left is brake bleeding. I mean, the brake fluid bleed. Get the air out of the caliper and get some fresh brake fluid, and we should be done with this. Alright, y'all, so I just want to sum it up. It's been a week since I had this carbon ceramic brakes on, and I just want to show you. So the car is filthy now. The pads are still getting bedded in, so you see there is some of the pad material hadn't transferred onto the carbon ceramics yet. Overall, my impressions, I just want to give you a difference, brake dust difference. The car is going to get tires in the next week or so. This wheel, and you know the rears that do dust much less. This wheel, this is how much dust it got, and this wheel, after the carbon ceramic bedding, this is how much dust it got. I mean, it's there, but it's definitely minimal compared to rear. Like, so you will see just, you know, just a rough example. Man, this is just rough. This is, yeah, that's rough. Yep. Okay, so anyway, my impressions, just to sum it up. First of all, they are grabby. Many of y'all know the EBC Red stuff is my go-to brake pad. They're very grabby. They dust a little bit, nothing crazy. But this carbon ceramics, that I was afraid that I'm gonna lose the feel and grabbiness, and they're gonna be more sleek. No, they grab just identical to EBC Red stuff, which is a compliment. I mean, major compliment in my opinion. I love the way they grab. No noise, zero noise. Only one time I had a very light noise when there was a really foggy morning and there was literally water on the brake disc. It took like 1 second to clean it off, and it was a done deal. So what else? The overall look, I mean, no rust. I mean, they look just straight badass. I mean, they are just beautiful. They look badass. I am currently working on a rear set, which I'm almost done. The calipers are in paint, and the brake discs are here, just working on the custom hubs for the center. What else can I say? The price wise, yes, they are ridiculous for a brake rotor, but the fact that they don't dust much, I mean, this is the initial bed-in dust. I'm sure once I get a car detailed in the next few days, it definitely is gonna be even less dust. The looks are badass. They are quiet, they are grabby. I mean, I'm literally impressed with this setup. Overall, I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10. I would say 9.5 out of 10, just because of the price of this, the whole this venture. But overall, this is definitely, I'm so impressed. The weight, I mean, the weight itself that you're losing, you're shaving down like over 17 pounds per disc. In the rear, they're only gonna be like 4 pounds, I think. But the 17 pounds per disc, and this is a 410 millimeter. These suckers are huge. I mean, they are massive. I think this is, if you can, I literally recommend going for it. In terms of the acceleration of braking, like I say, the braking just, they are identical to EBC Red stuff. Acceleration, it might be a placebo, but the car just feels much sharper in terms of steering, and much more agile. It takes off easier, in my opinion. I mean, it's just, man, this is just badass. This bolt tires, like I said, we're gonna change that in the next week or two. But everything else, I mean, I'm super stoked and impressed. This is it. I love it. This is the ultimate F85 F86 setup right there. They're huge, they're light, and they are beautiful. Yeah, buddy, there's some good stuff right there. Love it. I'm gonna post a video next few days. I'm gonna hopefully it's gonna be useful for somebody. If you got any detail, if you got any questions, if you want, get the brackets to make them work, or if you want to get a full kit, we can make it happen. And this is, yep, that's it. I'm out.